On this for us, Joe. We appreciate it. All right, Governor Kotek says the expansion of a natural gas pipeline in the Pacific Northwest will be disastrous. We first brought you this story as breaking news here on Good Day Oregon yesterday. Federal regulators announced the approval of the project. It's known as GTN Express yesterday, or GTN Express, I should say. The goal of the project is to expand the capacity of the gas transmission Northwest pipeline, which runs through Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. It belongs to TC Energy of Canada, and that's the same company behind the now abandoned Keystone pipeline. The company says the project is necessary to meet consumer demand. In a post on Twitter, Governor Kotek says she's evaluating ways Oregon can fight the expansion.
The approval of the expansion of this pipeline will not get Oregon towards the clean energy future that we want to see. And in fact, will weaken the bold steps that Oregon is taking to combat climate change.
Meanwhile, Washington Governor Jay Inslee also spoke out against it, releasing a statement that reads in part, quote, "This is bad for the ability of Washingtonians to breathe and the ability to cost-effectively heat and cool their homes. It makes no sense to shackle ourselves to a source of energy whose cost will go up in the coming decades instead of the clean energy options or sources whose costs are coming down dramatically." New this morning.